Oh shit. As Joey Diaz will say, oh shit. Oh shit. Let me see how I can prop this up, because I want this. Yep. Oh man, that's fucked up, man, right there. I want y'all to be able to. I'm trying to witness this, man. I don't got no production studio, man. I'm just in this small ass room trying to get this together, right? You're going to just see a corner. This is going to be a ghetto production. Let me see if I put this light on. Would I make it better? Would I change anything? Let me turn this fan off in the background right here. I'm going to try to... I'm not going to really be able to see the TV too great. I don't know how to use the technology that good, but last year, I'm going to just keep on popping my head in like this. Last year, we did this show at the New York Comedy Club. It's called ComicsWatchingComics. It just, I gotta keep putting my head over it like this. It just got picked up by Amazon Prime. And basically, let me move this shit back, all this extra shit. Basically, I'm gonna be giving my take. Damn, I want y'all to be able to see me better. This is horrible. I'm gonna be giving my take on what these people think of me as a comedian. Now, mind you, this was shot last year, like March 25th, something like that. And at the time, I was like 3 years and a couple of months in. And a lot of things that, because I had the actual tape of me performing a long time ago. I got it from Kevin a while back, and I downloaded it. I put it on YouTube. I watched it like 1,000,000 times. So a lot of the things that they said were things that I already figured out within these last 16 months of waiting on the show, waiting on it to be aired. And I don't put the blame on nobody. It was things that were out of they was pretty much out of Kevin's control. But you know, finally got it out. I'm trying to figure out how can I make this more. How can I make that? You know what? The only thing that matters is that you see it. But we're just gonna run through this tape real quick. They're gonna make their comments, and I'm gonna make my comments on top of their comments. They're gonna be commenting and commentating my comedy, and I'm gonna give my take. Trying to make this as comfortable as possible, because every now and again I'm gonna lean my head over and we're gonna talk about it. Let's get it. Hold up, let me turn up some of these lights real quick. Hopefully this can help out. Is it too dark? I think that makes it even. Yeah, I think I gotta keep the light on. This kind of sucks. Yo, this is definitely a ghetto production. Let me see if I could tilt this here, because I want to be able to. Y'all gonna see this on an angle. This is gonna be ratchet, man. This is gonna be some ghetto shit. So we're gonna run this right now, right? What the hell is my controller? My PS4 controller. So here it goes. Comics Watching Comics, Season 6, Episode 3. Kevin Goatee, Gina Brilliant. The other two names, I got the other two names just written on here. I can't think of Jason Scoop and this redhead lady that hated me. But we're gonna rock this. We're gonna get it. Let's get it. Turn this up for y'all too.
Watching comics.
I drove from Connecticut. I drove 2 hours.
That's this open. 2 seconds in, Jeffrey's shitting on it already.
Okay, so right away, I don't like him. You want to know why? Because he said, I drove all the way here to perform for 5 minutes. It's not the audience's fucking fault that he's doing 5 minutes.
All right, pause right there. That's Lady Carol Montgomery. Now, I opened up the set saying I had to drive 2 hours to perform for only 5 minutes. And before I could even get into it, they cut it right there, bam. And they trash me. She takes it like I'm complaining about the drive, but the joke has, and they eventually get it, but the joke has nothing to do with me driving there. It's a joke about erectile dysfunction. And obviously, the way I delivered it, maybe I seemed kind of upset. Maybe I seemed angry, but I wasn't upset or angry at all. I was trying to be laid back and calm. You know what I mean? But before, like, damn, they usually say, you know, you try to get a laugh every 15 seconds. This motherfucker cut me off within 3 seconds. God damn. And then there's a thing that you don't hear on this particular tape. And I have the audio of it. Before I even get to my jokes, they ask you what your Twitter is or whatever. And I made a blunder, and I said my Tinder is Maurice Green. And as soon as I said that, the whole audience erupted in laughter. But obviously, they can't put everything in there. But off the bat, the audience liked me. You know what I mean? I calmed down after that. I maybe this would be better produced if I would have just had the audio from the very. As a matter of fact, you know what? I do. I got the audio right here. I'm gonna show you exactly how. I'm gonna show you the laughter of how this started. Period. Right? And hey, bear with me now. This is a ghetto Negro production. Let me see what we got going on here. Okay. And then hopefully it's there. Yeah, it's definitely here. So hey, listen, I showed for you myself the way I opened up and how they received me like immediately. I had them motherfuckers. So this is how it really started. Nah, that's not it. Listen, man. Now listen to this. Ah, shit.
Good morning,
Damn it.
beautiful morning, my black people.
Oh my God, I'm messing up, man. Now listen. Listen to this. This is ComicsWatch. This is how it began.
Oh, man, we survived. Give it up for yourselves. We're doing this and pursuing your dreams. Yeah. And Maurice Green on Tinder and Maurice Green. On Twitter, that's a Freudian slip. On Twitter and Maurice Green on Instagram. Now, I drove from Connecticut. I drove 2 hours. I performed for like 5 minutes.
Now, all that laughter I got at the actual beginning of the tape, do I sound upset at all? No. The crowd was fucking with me. Okay, so let's continue. So I guess, a lot of times white ladies are scared of big looking black dudes, and if we show any like sign of masculinity, they're intimidated by that. So I can see how they can misinterpret it. And I'm a big guy or whatever. So I can see how they can misconstrue that as me being upset. But, you know what I mean? And eventually they figured out, I'll let you watch it and I'll pause it again. Wow.
You should be, you want to be a comic.
Bang! Cal Montgomery.
I'm sorry, you want to be a comic.
I'll run it back a little bit. So
And now,
let's run it back from the beginning.
Watching comics.
I drove from Connecticut. I drove 2 hours.
That's his opening.
Yeah, that's my opening. Give it a chance. Here's my
Okay,
opening.
so right away, I don't like him. You want to know
2
why?
seconds.
Because he said, I drove all the way here to perform for 5 minutes.
Not about the driving.
It's
Not about the time. It's not about ordering
it.
it.
Doing 5 minutes.
It's not about that.
You want to be a comic.
Bang!
It's not about that. See, the thing is, she's arguing.
You go out and you work.
See, the thing is, she's arguing something that the joke has nothing to do with, and this is what I get. Like I listen to a lot of Opie and Anthony, and whether she's a comic or not, a lot of times, you know what I mean. Women just have different understandings of humor than men, and men do. And Opie and Anthony, they literally refer to them as the whole. Like the whole, just when you say something, they just take that shit literally. They don't see the thing that you're trying to say behind that. You know what I mean? And then give me 10 seconds. Even Steve Harvey said you're trying to get a laugh every 20 seconds. I got 4 seconds and y'all shitting on it. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here. But let's continue, because eventually she figures the joke of what I'm trying to say. Oh, that's what he meant. Yeah, motherfucker, give me a goddamn chance. And that's like you looking at salt and flour and water, and you're like, what is all this salt and flour and water? Let me put the shit together so you can see the motherfucking cake first. Goddamn. But let's continue.
Hard as you put.
I agree with your point, but I think that's such a telltale I'm a new comic sign.
Yeah,
relatively.
I had to drive so far, feel sympathy for me, so you laugh at the joke.
But even there, the point wasn't me trying to get sympathy out of driving so far. Like those two ladies totally misunderstood what I was saying. The dudes is quiet. They ain't saying nothing because they know they get what I was trying to get at. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to get sympathy at all. As I showed you from the tape in the beginning, I got crazy laughter off the fucking back, even before I got to that point. But obviously they couldn't use the Twitter, whatever. They just didn't make that as a part of the show. But that's how I really opened up. But let's continue.
Is anyone else not going to mention he looks like fucking Suge Knight started doing comedy?
Yeah, that's funny.
He looks like Mini Show.
But he also looks pissed. He's looked pissed that he's
not pissed at all though. If you would have watched the whole tape, I wasn't pissed at all. That's just her interpretation, because a lot of white women see bigger black guys and they automatically assume that, oh my God, this guy is so big and he's so black. And if we ain't smiling like, hey everybody, how's it going? Then we're all of a sudden we're mad. Listen, I work in the service industry, and sometimes, I'm kind of tired once I get to work or whatever. I don't want to be smiling at like 10 in the morning. I'm not trying to be smiling and happy-go-lucky. And like, Mo, what's wrong? What's so wrong? I said, what's wrong? I just woke up. Was gonna leave me alone. Let me get my batteries recharged first. Stop being all in my face. Nobody is that happy. A lot of these people don't even brush their teeth in the morning. They want to talk right in your face directly. But let's continue.
Well, he came from Connecticut, Carol.
Well, he's
Paused right now. He looks like Bill Cosby.
That's funny. That's funny. It's funny because I do Bill Cosby impersonations. But Jason is cool. Jeff is cool. They're all cool. I got no problem with them or nothing like that. But I think the redheaded ginger, and it's funny because I have a joke about having like rough sex with a ginger that's probably racist. And like the more that I look at this redheaded lady, the more I think that, you know what I'm saying, she probably embodies this racist ass woman that I fucked the shit out of. And, well, I actually did have sex with a redheaded ginger in real life. That's actually a true story. But I make it a little bit more, what's the word? I make it more sensational in my actual joke or whatever. But let's go.
People in Connecticut.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, I missed that. I missed that. What he said. Hold on. Let me run it back. Okay, right
He's
now.
paused right now. He looks like Bill Cosby.
I'm just glad to hear that there are black people in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's funny, Jeff. I respect Jeff. Anybody that was associated with Patrice O'Neal in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I rock with him. Jeff is a funny dude. He was pretty much laid back this whole thing. But let's continue.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
That sounds like the conclusion to most of my Tinder dates.
That's one
I
punchline.
just turned 38 a couple of weeks ago, man. Got some performance issues. My dick needs a defibrillator.
There you go.
It's horrible.
So it was nothing. The joke was nothing about driving to Connecticut, from Connecticut. It had nothing to do with that. I didn't want to just hop in and say, yo, my dick need a defibrillator. I didn't want to open that shit up. Comedy is about misdirection, so I'm taking you one way and I spin you another way around. Now, obviously, this was 16 months ago, and I've gotten better at doing that. You know what I mean? So I'm breaking this tape down from a mindset of a person that's been doing it, you know, since 16 months longer than the individual that y'all watching right there. So, you know, and that's attributed to the episode, the season 6. That's attributed to it taking so long to come out. Not Kevin's fault at all. It was out of his hands, but you know that is what it is. What it is when you do something almost 2 years ago, and it finally comes out. I mean, we would hope that you're going to be a better comedian or whatever, but. I see what they're saying, but initially, her thinking I was mad, and then them misinterpreting my jokes, I attributed A to just being women, and just women have a different sense of humor, and B, because I'm a big black dude, and white women are intimidated by big black guys, and they assume that we all upset at all times, and I wasn't upset at all. But let's continue. Oh shit.
Defibrillator.
All right, so we're running back right there. Oh crap! What the? Nope, I'm going the wrong way. See, now I'm messing up. And it's not letting me move. You know what I mean? I gotta run this all back now. Alright. But let's continue. Alright. Right there.
There you go.
Oh,
I agree.
Alright, run it back a little bit more right here. Man, why is this shit freezing up, man? Amazon Prime sucks. It's not even letting me do anything
Work
right
as
now.
hard as you put.
Alright. Okay, we're going to stop right here. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's the joke. My dick needs a.
Okay, yeah.
I just turned 38 a couple of weeks
All right, here
ago,
we go.
man. Got some performance issues. My dick needs a defibrillator. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And I love doing shows in different places.
He didn't even pause for the. Okay.
True,
Yeah.
He
true,
did it. That's.
true. Like, and that's a problem that I still work on, that I still need to work on to this day. A lot of times I get too excited. I'll throw out a punchline and I rush and I get into my other bits or whatever. So she's right
The
about that.
joke. My dick needs a defibrillator.
Oh, now you're getting it. Yeah, when you give me more than 20 seconds, because the whole bit, like in the beginning, it's not even that long. It's like literally, my punchline is within. I drove 2 hours to perform for 5 minutes. That sounds like the conclusion of most of my Tinder dates. I'm 38 years old, man. My dick needs a defibrillator. That's like under 20 seconds. But they only gave me 4 seconds. Damn. What comedian is making motherfuckers like him within 4 seconds? Let's keep it real. Come on, man. And moving along. So now she finally gets it. In the back of her mind, she probably feels fucking stupid because no, I wasn't angry, and no, it had nothing to do with me driving there, period. Ta-da. So let's keep it going.
Actually, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. My boy Jason had my back, was like, damn, that's pretty funny. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, exactly. I know it's funny. I've been practicing that shit. But I did rush it, you know what I mean? I did definitely rush through it or whatever. But let's keep it going.
It is,
mumbling
but
through
he's
it.
mumbling through
Definitely, I
it.
mumble
and
a
he's
lot.
not stopping to get the laugh.
True.
It sounds already, Carol, that you think this set needs a defibrillator.
All right.
There you go.
Oh, I agree.
Kev, that joke was as flat as your butt cheeks, but let's keep going.
Oh, no.
That's pretty gay for me saying that. Let's go.
Oh, that's why I have the show.
And I love doing shows in different places, but I hate competition.
All right.
I'm always concerned about what type of thug is going to be. But look around this room, some fucking thugs. You a thug. You a thug.
I don't really do this joke like this, though.
Motherfucking thug with that flower shirt.
He's pulling an Oprah. You're a thug. You're a thug.
That was funny. That was
Choose
funny.
thug, thug, thug.
That's
You get
funny.
a clock. You get a clock.
And then the problem with that particular joke too is this. That's a joke that the audience can appreciate if they're actually there more than like people watching it from a TV screen. And I don't do that joke like that anymore, man. Or if I do it, I'll say y'all some white thugs. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. So let's go. Let's go.
But y'all thugs, y'all kind of weird. Y'all look kind of strange. Y'all seem like the type of thugs that are like steal my identity but then improve my credit.
That's a decent joke.
I
know.
ain't a good look for me because in the streets, look at me, I know I'm my identity but then improve my credit.
That's a decent joke.
Yeah, she started. See now they started liking me a
in the
little bit.
streets, look at me, I know I'm ugly as fuck. I look like George Foreman. But in prison, I look like Amber Rose.
That's funny.
That's actually 4. If you count the other 2, that's actually 4 jokes in under 4 punchlines in under 2 minutes. Give me my points. Don't be trying to take away my points. Come on now.
8 Amber Rose. How about that?
Yeah,
that
that
was
was like a very down and out Amber Rose.
The only thing is,
But it's funny that I already address being like fat on stage, and then people make fun of me for being fat on stage. That's kind of redundant. It's like, I think you make fun of things that people don't point out like automatically. You make fun of, you don't just make fun of the obvious. Like, yo, I'm telling you I'm fat. Like, oh my God, he's fat. It's like, yeah, I said I was fat like 30 times already. All right, but let's keep going.
you're gonna be mad at me because I can't booty twerk the way Amber Rose do. So once they get me, I'm gonna get my ass kicked because I can't make my ass clap. This is some bullshit, man. The only thing that's twerking is my titties. My titties. I swear every time I do that shit, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Once he got that big laugh, there was one of the jokes worked. Once he got that, all of a sudden you can hear him.
You know you mad when you get tired.
No, all of a sudden you can hear me because you're finally like paying attention and not judging me, thinking that I'm mad. That's you. Let's keep it going. Once you realize that I'm not this big menacing black guy that's gonna beat your ass and steal your purse and like kidnap your daughter. Once you got over those insecurities, then you started hearing me. Let's go.
That's why I do a lot of Tinder dating. You know what I'm saying? I do my thing on Tinder, but at my age, most women I meet brag about being 35, but I know for a fact that they're 50. Because no woman brags about being 35 unless she's 50.
Getting laughs.
Now, as far as I know, I don't have any kids.
They cut my Pillsbury Doughboy joke out, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? If something ain't really hitting or where they don't really want to talk about it, they cut stuff out, but they cut that one out.
Lucky. Some say I'm weird, but this is my secret. I put a Plan B pill in a coffee the next day when she ain't paying attention. And my homeboy was like, yo, you stupid as fuck. Why don't you just use a condom? I said, cause she gonna notice a rubber floating in the cup, you dumb motherfucker.
But I like like nonsensical, stupid
It's
stuff
like,
like that.
yo, it's like it's weird. They want to like me. Like I'm watching this and they want to like me. You know what I mean?
Notice a rubber floating in the cup, guys. She would. That's the joke.
And I got high standards with dating. I'm always single. That's why I broke up with my ex-girlfriend because her kids was too ugly. It's kind of scumbaggy. Y'all some assholes for laughing at that shit. But listen, I'm ugly. My girlfriend's ugly. Her kids is ugly. If we go to a public place, that's just too much ugly in the same vicinity at the same time. It's like too many fat people in the elevator. We breaking the ugly capacity.
Yeah, these is light jokes. Like,
And whenever I stayed over her house, man, her kids were so hideous.
yo, for my closer, I definitely feel like I chose the wrong joke. I was going to do my booty eating joke or whatever. I was really going over in my head of how to close my set. But for some reason, I didn't want to be too dirty and like come off too hacky. So that's why I kind of went with the ugly kids bit. But it's long. It's not enough punchlines. So I get it. I get why it didn't hit too good. Oh, shit.
It's like too many fat people in the elevator. We breaking the ugly capacity. And whenever I stayed over her house, man, her kids were so hideous, the place felt like it was haunted. You would hear weird sounds like that's how those motherfuckers snore, man. Shit. All of a sudden I felt like a weird, eerie sensation. Something was tickling my feet. I hopped up out the bed, 3 of them was just standing around staring at me. All I could see was their teeth and their eyes. Now, I don't know if these kids was hungry, or if they was trying to figure out if it was their daddy, or if they was going to sacrifice it to the devil, like children of the corn, and I wasn't trying to figure that shit out either. I was breaking the rules, because we know for a fact black people, the first people to die in scary movies, I grabbed my keys out of the bed, punched out through them, pat, 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 jumped out the window, hopped in my car, and sped up.
I like a lot of like ethnic comics like myself.
Oh.
Started off in the urban circuit where you have you have 3 seconds to impress them.
Right.
All right, let me explain something to her why she's wrong with this. First of all, I live in Connecticut, right? Second of all, it ain't that many, and this is to Gina, there's not that many urban rooms out here. I just talk fast. That's my thing. I'm a fast talking motherfucker. At that particular time, I think 2 days before I did this set, I started getting into Todd Berry. So I really started slowing my shit down. So honestly, as fast as that sounds, that's actually slowed down in comparison to how I usually tell it. And in that particular joke, I'm in a haunted house. Her ugly ass kids is trying to kill me. The whole thing of me talking fast, I'm trying to create like a situation, I'm trying to create like an emotion of panic. Like you trying to panic, you trying to get out the house. Like these kids trying to get me. I gotta punch them in the face. I gotta leave. It's more of a theatrical thing than it's more of an act out than a funny thing. But if I tell that story, the kids was at the edge of the bed, tickling my feet. All I could see was their teeth and their eyes. We know black people the first people to die in scary movies. So I jumped out the bed, punched all 3 of them in the face, pat, 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 jumped out the window, hopped in my car and sped off. Like, come on, really? It's a fucking horror scene. It's not funny. It definitely wasn't funny. You know what I mean? It's more of a horror scene. And in that particular joke, the whole thing is I'm trying to end, I learned this from Dave Chappelle, but I was trying to end my whole set on a callback. And earlier in the set, I said, in prison, I can't booty twerk the way Amber Rose does. So he said, throw the old TV. I know, the one up top, right? So I'm going to get my ass kicked because I can't make my ass clap. So I was trying to close the set saying, I'm going to get my ass kicked because I can't make my ass clap. Now, I feel weird talking like that, CJ. I definitely have to like slow it down as far as how I talk, but I can't tell that joke when I'm trying to escape from getting killed. Like, oh my God, these people was about to kill me. So I jumped out of the bed and punched all 3 of them in the face. Pat, pat, pat. Jumped out the window and sped off in my car. Like, to me, that it just sounds too mechanical. And also, I don't really do that joke anymore. I think the joke was kind of hacky. It's more of a story joke. It's not even a joke. It's just a silly embellished story, to be honest with you. And I mean, I really did have a dated chick whose children were annoying to me, but I think their kids being ugly is funnier than them being annoying. And they did some, I wouldn't say they did some nefarious shit, but some shit happened where they were acting like monsters towards me. So I had to get out of that situation. So that story is definitely rooted in truth. But the whole point of me talking fast like that's not because I'm an urban comic, because I don't do a lot of urban rooms. I mean, I do any room that gives me the time of day, but for the most part, I don't get paid by urban gigs and situations. I'm just a black dude that talks fast, and people in Connecticut, we have a tendency to talk fast. He said you can't talk fast no matter what. It's hilarious. We just Connecticut. We from up north. We talk fast is what we do. But let me continue.
3 seconds. You don't make them laugh, you're done. Yeah.
That's true though.
It's like that's part of where I think the rushing comes from too.
No,
you do black
you're wrong,
rooms,
Gina.
Latin rooms. It's like if they're not laughing right away, you are in deep
No.
trouble.
But I'm saying for the first.
Me talking fast doesn't come from me doing urban rooms, because in Connecticut we don't. It ain't that what we got. The Russell downtown, and then we got Terminal 110. Now the Russell, I've been doing poetry for years, but that's on a whole. That's a poetry room. That's different. I did Mocha's in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? But on a Tuesday night, and I fucking rocked it out. But other than that, I haven't really done like that many urban rooms like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm black doesn't mean I'm doing urban rooms. So again, you're wrong. You're judging the outside, you know what I mean, but not really knowing what's going on. But you know, y'all pretty much just working on what you got right in front of you. But just look at my shirt, look at my clothes, look at how I speak, look at all that. You know, I'm not a traditional urban comic, like by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just a big black dude. When white women see big black guys, you know, they just make the assumption, oh, he's urban. But No, you're wrong in that situation. Moving along.
First 15 to 30 seconds, I agree. But after he knows he's won that room over, then he can be like, now I can kind of just slow down.
No, you're right.
And even, I think people should even say, you know what? I may have 5 minutes. I'm going to do like 4.
I agree.
And just take the fuck out of the time to set and just really.
You know, I just want to say
That's another thing a lot of comics do is they, if you're like, if you got 5 minutes, they think they have to fill up that 5 minutes of time. And I forget who taught me this, but you don't really necessarily got to fill up all that time. You do, what you want to do is you want to kind of go under that time so you can kind of take your time and not rush. So I totally agree. Like, Kevin, that's some great advice right there. Totally agree with what he's saying. It reinforces something else that somebody else said to me, and somebody, you know, it reinforces what I learned. But it's good to hear a lot of comics that have been doing it longer than you say certain things that you've learned to kind of reinforce. So you reinforce things that you've learned so that you know that you're on the right path with whatever it is that you're trying to do in your artistry. But let's keep going.
He just needs to learn to slow down a bit. That's
Right.
all. He
Thank you,
has
Jeff.
good ideas.
True.
I don't remember who said it, but a very famous comedian once said, if you think you're going too slow, slow down.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny when I performed with it. I did 3 shows with AJ Johnson, Ezel from Friday in upstate New York, and that's the same thing. He was like, he said, "You real funny, man." He said, "You just gotta slow it down. You're talking too fast." And even to this day, I've been listening to some of my tapes, and I'm finding that I'm falling back into that habit of talking too fast. So I gotta do some reflection. I got a show tomorrow night at Treehouse, so whatever it is, that's what I'm gonna bring to the table. But moving forward after that show, I'm gonna really try to consciously slow down the words that I say. So if I take anything from this show, I definitely gotta slow it down. But those preconceived notions in the beginning, that I was upset and I'm mad because I'm driving too far, they totally, the 2 ladies, not the dudes, they knew where I was coming from, but the ladies totally misinterpreted what I was coming from, and they didn't even give me a chance off the bat. They just fucking shut me down within 3 seconds. And that's boo-boo. But let's go.
And that's such a great line.
But in defense, so like everyone does this. Everyone. It's you've got a 5 minutes. You know you have a 5-minute spot. And Mike Gaffney said this 2 seasons ago. You're trying to shove 10 pounds of shit in a 5-minute bag. Hey, Jason Scoop, buddy, what'd you think of Maurice Green? I think he's good. I think he has potential.
Thank you, Jason.
But just not there yet.
I think that he has some good stuff, but I think he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like he's got the right
And
energy
this is 16 months ago, and I have been working, and I've been getting booked a lot and paid a lot since then. But definitely,
you know, I feel like
There's a likability.
yeah, he does. He has a certain likability about him, but like there's a lot of stuff he needs to improve on.
still a lot of stuff I still need to improve on.
National mom herself.
Oh, look at him with the national.
Some of his homework.
I do agree. He needs work. You know,
No doubt.
which, by the way, I do. I develop and coach with people. But he's got a lot of work ahead of him. He's got to go out there and he's got to either hire somebody to work with him.
I ain't hiring shit.
Or he's got to be on stage every single night.
I go as much as I possibly can.
Not just once, but like 3 or 4 times a night.
And that's one of the drawbacks of living in Connecticut. I mean, we got some nights, like Monday nights is a popping night where you can hit like 2 or 3 mics. I mean, every night you can hit 2 or 3, but it's not. There aren't as many rooms in Connecticut as there are in, say, like a New York or Los Angeles. But that's no excuse, because even though there aren't as many rooms, there also aren't as many comics out here. So you have a lot more time to really develop your shit. So let's go.
And getting the shit, because he has some funny jokes. He just doesn't.
Thank you,
He
Karen.
doesn't know that. You know, he rushes through his setups.
Definitely.
He doesn't wait for the punch. He doesn't wait for the laughter.
Definitely.
And that's stuff you learn when you're on stage. The more you get on stage, that's
True
what
that.
I would say to him. Get on stage
True that.
as much as you can.
Right. I felt that horror scene with the ugly and the fat and him
Yeah.
running to the house. I just didn't give a shit.
No, I feel you.
I just like I don't care.
Kevin, the funny thing, I don't really give a shit about that joke. That's just one of my newer jokes that I wrote back then that was longer. You know what I mean? And it was more of a theatrical thing than a comedy thing, but I don't give a shit about that joke. Let's go.
Care.
Yeah, it was too long. It was. You know,
I
Too
agree.
long and there's nothing in it to
Right.
for me to invest. I go, okay, I know it's a long setup.
Yeah.
Right.
And the punchline,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah,
The joke
exactly.
that the black guy always gets
Right.
killed first has been done a million times.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you
Yeah,
said-
black guy is the first guy to get die in scary movies. Yeah, that's true. There's a way I could say that. Like, so I'm black, you know, I'm gonna die first. There's different ways I could have said that. I could have flipped that, or whatever. But Let's go.
The floating eyes and teeth. I'm like, oh, he's gonna make fun he's black, right? Okay.
Right, that's
no.
what I thought. That's
Right.
what I thought he was going.
Right.
Let's vote. Jason Scoop, final consideration, yes or no?
I'm gonna say no.
No. Gina Berlin.
No.
No.
Gina's so cute.
Carol Montgomery.
No.
If she wasn't married, I'd be
Irene,
in box.
unanimous. Sorry, Mo Green.
No, it's all good.
Keep on getting stage, brother. You're,
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
likable, that's for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
All right, no, we're not going to end like. So yeah, that was pretty much it, man. So, in a nutshell, I think I did decent. I think the lady Carol, she freaking came down on me way too hard, way fast. Like Steve Harvey said, you're trying to get some type of laugh, or you're trying to get some reaction every 20 seconds. You want to get that. This chick, I got a reaction out of her within 3 seconds, so I must be doing something right. And her reaction was hatred, and she misinterpreted my joke. But once she realized where I was coming from, we were good. But I definitely was rushing. I definitely was stepping on the punchlines. I think Comics Watching Comics is great. But I also, I think it's a great thing. I definitely take heed and advice to to the advice that they gave me as far as how I can improve or what have you. And I've been taking heed to that advice even before I even watched this episode of them critiquing me, because I'm like probably my biggest critic, man. I'm watching my shit all the time. I'm trying to get better all the time, and I know that I talk too fast and I have to work on my pacing. That's something I still got to work. It's funny because after that, I was getting better with my pacing and I was really slowing it down, but lately I've been speeding it back up for some weird freaking reason, man. But overall, it was dope, man. Thanks to the panelists, to Carolyn, to Gina, to Jeff Gurian, and to Jason Scoop, and to Kevin Goatee for just putting it all together. And I'll probably come back again. I'll probably try to do it another one of these seasons or whatever if I have time to do it. Maybe next year or the year or after. But I would suggest anybody that's an up-and-coming comedian, you got 3 years in, to try to do Comics Watching Comics. It's a fun experience. If you've never been a part of it, like a TV production, and just having to be there all day and be a part of it, I think it's a great boot camp just to get you like the feel of what it feels like to be a part of a production and just waiting your turn and going over your lines and just being around a whole bunch of people and being hungry and being tired. And you really get a feel of how it is that these Hollywood actors, the different things that they endure and experience, just trying to just put together a production and just do something in general. So it was real dope. It was real fun. It was fun that they trashed me, and it was fun for me to flip back and trash them. That was even more fun because I had to. I always got to make it racial somehow. I had to bring out some racial issues or whatever. But fuck it, it's all in love. It is what it is. We don't know each other. Like Kevin gives us a disclaimer that they're gonna trash us if they don't like us, if they don't like what we presented. But it's all for the sake of the show. But they didn't know that I was gonna come back around and trash them. Not trash them, but just real, more or less just like psychoanalyze them. But it was fun. It was definitely a good thing. I look forward to doing it again. I watched definitely quite a few other episodes. I'm not going to give my play-by-play to these other episodes. It cost me $2 to watch my own shit, but it's cool. And it cost me $20 to buy my tape, but, Kev put all his bread in it. He got to recoup some of that. So I totally understand it. It was cool. I appreciate it. Love every single last one of y'all. Hashtag everybody need more green. And for a side plug for myself, I will be making my Treehouse comedy debut tomorrow night at the Westport Inn in Westport, Connecticut. Doors open at 7 o'clock and it costs $19.50. That's a weird ass price. It costs $19.50. It is a bringer for myself. I do have to bring people in order for me to perform. People have to show up in my name. So hopefully if anybody's in the Westport, Bridgeport area, they want to help Old Green get on so I can start getting even more paid bookings and I can get one step closer to getting out of these living dwellings and situations and to stop punching in for the man. Show up for that show. Alright, I'm out. Hashtag everybody need more green. Peace.